Hey, Meet Cute listeners, we are Likewise, a recommendation app for TV shows, movies, books, and podcasts, used by millions of romance fans just like you. Everyone has a romance trope they can't get enough of. Whether you're into dark romantic fantasies, enemies to lovers, or slow burns, you can discover more of it on Likewise. You can search for specific genres, tropes, or themes, and instantly get recommendations picked specifically for you. Download the Likewise app today.
Some people like to deep clean every Saturday morning. I prefer to spend a few minutes every day keeping things fresh with Lysol. Lysol's all-purpose cleaner cleans and kills 99.9% of viruses and bacteria. It can be used on hard, non-porous surfaces like the kitchen, bathroom, and other areas in your home. Don't just clean, Lysol clean.
The South Dakota Stories, Volume 5. South Dakota seemed like the perfect place to unplug. But I ended up connecting to the world around me. A world where each sunset was painted, where I felt adventure's pulse with every step, and where cold water trickling, pine swaying, and grunting bison became my favorite soundtracks. I just wish I didn't have to leave. There's so much South Dakota, so little time.
Whether you're a morning person or a bedtime procrastinator, everyone deserves a mattress that works for their style. And you'll find the best mattress for you at Ashley. The new Temper-Adapt collection at Ashley brings you one-of-a-kind body-conforming technology, making every sleep tailored to be your best. The collection also features cool-to-the-touch covers and motion absorption to help minimize sleep disruptions from partners, pets, or kids. Shop the all-new Temper-Adapt collection at Ashley, in-store or online at ashley.com. Ashley, for the love of home.
Thank you for coming. I really appreciate you taking the time to see me again.
Of course, I will admit, I was surprised to hear from you directly.
I grab you a coffee, 2 sugars, no cream. I'm not sure if that's how you still take it.
Oh, I've been cutting sugar, but I appreciate the gesture.
So, how are things at the database?
Things are, as usual, going swimmingly. We're helping millions of Americans achieve a happy and healthy future with their soulmate. How are you? How's the practice?
I think it suits me better than a research setting. I found it very fulfilling, working with patients one-on-one.
Huh. Helping individuals to reject the database must be a particularly fulfilling project for you.
That's not how I would describe my work. Yes, many of my clients want to talk about their soulmates, but who wouldn't? It's a life-defining decision made by a mysterious government body that nobody understands.
And so you provide counsel to encourage your clients to reject the thing that they don't understand?
Well, no, not to reject it. I guess more like find a way to break it down.
Break it down?
No, not like that. I mean to process their feelings about the database and their files and the matching and ultimately their soulmate. I have plenty of clients who have entered into happy, fulfilling relationships with their soulmates. Marriages, babies, the whole grand plan come to life.
And how are things going with Claire?
What?
That is why you called me, isn't it? To break down what's happening with your own soulmate?
I am,
Perhaps you have forgotten how active we are in monitoring individuals in our portfolios? After your termination, both your and your soulmate's files were flagged under exceptional circumstances and monitored closely by upper-level members of staff. We take your transgressions and your subsequent actions very seriously, Bennett.
No, yes, of course. I'm sorry. I don't know what I was expecting.
Well, I assume you were expecting, or at least intending, to talk with me about Claire. Your particular timing in reaching out after years with no contact suggests as much.
I've been thinking about you a lot these past few weeks. But I am surprised that it was you who kept track of me personally. I assumed that my case manager would have been someone else.
So tell me, how is it going with Claire?
I think I ruined everything, and I'm not sure what to do.
Claire, will you put that down and talk to me for a second?
About what?
I'm finally leaving. Isn't that what you wanted?
No, I didn't want you to leave at all. I wanted you to feel settled and independent.
In the arms of a lying asshole who I know nothing about?
I understand you're feeling upset, but can we maybe sit down and talk rather than throwing all of your worldly possessions into it? Is that my suitcase?
Well, I can't use my old carry-on. It's been tainted with Bennettness.
You hear yourself, right?
It's not just him. I came out here. I tried to set up a new life, but obviously it's not working out. And the mistake I made was going backwards, back to somewhere I had already been. I should have known it would never work out. No plans I ever make work out. Could you please toss me that shirt?
Where are you even going?
San Francisco.
San Francisco?
I don't know anybody. And can really start over and not be chased by my stupid history at every corner like I am here and in Chicago.
Claire, this is ridiculous.
Seriously, can you hand me that shirt? My flight takes off at 6.
Are you serious?
Yes. I'm not wasting any more time in this goddamn city than I have to.
Are you insane?
He keeps calling and I can't stand to see his name on my screen.
Okay, you're completely out of control right now.
You would say that.
What is that supposed to mean?
Everything is perfect in your little life. Nothing ever goes wrong or doesn't work or gets ruined and can't be put back together again. You have no idea what I'm going through right now, so just leave me alone.
God, you are so immature sometimes.
Wow, insults are a perfect way to make me feel better. Thank you.
Stop with the sarcasm. You've spent years freaking out and throwing your life at the wall every time something doesn't go your way. You're impulsive and you're rude and you're ungrateful. And most of all, you refuse to face anything head on ever. And until you do that, you'll never be able to grow up and lead a fulfilling life.
Wow.
Nobody's life is perfect, Claire. Nothing exists without conflict. But what adults do when they see conflict is sit down and try to work things out, to figure out what went wrong and try to learn how to fix it. You run away at the slightest challenge. Do you seriously think that nothing is ever your fault?
What are you talking about? I think that everything is my fault.
But it's actually neither of those things. Sometimes it is circumstance or bad luck or a shitty boss. But the only thing you can control in the world is you. And you've never given yourself the chance to make amends or change your behavior enough to see a result.
This is really not the conversation I want to be having right now.
I think it's the conversation you need to be having.
In a new city, I can have a chance to be a new person. A better person. I can start over fresh and leave behind all the chaos I always used to leave in my wake.
But you can't leave it all behind. Not really. Especially not with the database.
Watch me try. It was working. I was a better person with Bennett until I learned that he was a deceitful bastard with his own motives.
How is what he was doing different from you? He was bending the truth to create a version of himself he thought you would like more.
How can you say that? I was lying, sure, but I was lying by omission. I wasn't hiding anything critical.
Weren't you?
I was going to come clean about everything eventually. I was just giving myself a fighting chance at a future. He was inventing an entire philosophy and a fake history with the intention to entrap me.
Honestly, doesn't it say something that you now know he did see your file and he still wanted to be with you? Doesn't that assuage some of your fears?
No, it just makes him a creep. Some kind of guy getting off on lying.
That's not true, and I think you know it.
It's not worth it. I have to go now. I don't want to be late for the rest of my life.
You can't run away.
Maybe third time's the charm. Maybe San Francisco is where my life begins.
Your life has already begun, and you're just not acknowledging it.
Thanks again for letting me stay with you. I hope I wasn't a burden.
Claire.
Say bye to Tony and the little man for me.
Oh, I can't believe you're serious. You're making a mistake, and somewhere in there you know it.
Now, I'm not the type to gloat, but it does seem that some appreciation for the algorithm is in order. It's clear that your levels of attraction for and emotional investment in Claire are quite high.
She's nothing like I would have expected, and yet...
Well, it's a flaw in human self-perception. Most individuals have a concept of their needs and desires that is vastly different from their genuine needs and desires.
But if there's so much discrepancy, who's to say what a person really does need or desire? Why is the algorithm right and an individual wrong?
Results, Bennett. Our optimal outcomes. You know this.
But even that's so hard to define. Who's to say that, sure, the algorithm knows someone who's 98% compatible, but there's also someone who's about 85% compatible, and we're supposed to think that's not good enough? Nobody can even articulate what makes up that 13-point discrepancy anyway.
And yet, the discrepancy is there. And some part of you identified this problem because you ended a years-long relationship with someone you knew wasn't your soulmate, simply because of the knowledge that there was a soulmate out there for you.
Why can't people be secure with the 85%? Or even with 50? Or without a percentage at all?
Yes, some people are able to feel secure without that statistical guarantee. For the rest of the population, and the vast majority, mind you, our algorithm provides that security. Were you able to feel secure without the knowledge that you had an algorithm in your corner?
Maybe I should have been.
But maybe you're human.
What do I do about Claire?
That is beyond my purview.
I thought you were supposed to be invested in the algorithmic outcomes.
Perhaps you have once again forgotten the strict guidelines against meddling in active cases.
Then why did you agree to come and meet with me if you knew my case was still active?
Maybe I'm human too.
Barely.
You want to do the human thing? What does your gut tell you?
To go after her and try to explain myself?
Well, then?
What if it doesn't work?
Statistically, that would be unlikely.
You really don't know Claire.
Well, I know her as well as you do. I know facts about her, and I've used those facts to build a profile that is meant to create a semblance of a complete human. There is no way to truly know another person. We are all building and modifying new identities with each additional piece of data. All this to say, I cannot tell you what to do. My position allows me to only comment on the process.
I can't believe you, of all people, just told me to go with my gut.
It's just another means of data interpretation. I should get back to the office, but I wish you luck, Bennett.
Luck? I need that.
It's a turn of phrase. Try not to overanalyze everything I say.
Now boarding Flight 680 through Gate B35 to San Francisco.
Hey, Claire! Hey, wait! Claire!
Bennett? What are you doing here?
Will you come and talk to me for a second? Before you go? Please.
Oh my god, what a romantic gesture. It's just like the movies. I wonder if that's her soulmate.
Don't hold your breath. They're overrated.
Are you kidding? I can't wait to meet my soulmate. I check my file every single day.
What does an algorithm really know about love? It's just a bunch of numbers in a big giant computer.
Claire, I know you're upset, but I really don't think we should leave it like this.
What have you got to lose, besides a lifetime of love and companionship?
All right, I'm coming. You look sweaty.
I wasn't sure which flight you were on, and Sasha didn't know which one you were on either.
Sasha put you up to this? Goodbye, Bennett.
No. This was my idea. I mean, I went to find you, and you were already gone, and your cousin was there, and she told me that you were flying out to San Francisco, so I looked up all the flights to San Francisco that were flying in the next few hours to see if I could catch you, to say I'm sorry. God, this is such a cliche.
I'm gonna miss my flight.
What if you miss your flight? What's in San Francisco, anyway?
A new life!
Look, I know I messed up. I really, really messed up. But can we please talk about everything we've done instead of running away?
Obviously, you did conspire with Sasha.
Not at all, I promise.
Why would I trust anything you say?
Why wouldn't you? You know everything about me now. I'm an open book, and you've read every page.
That's not true. Your file neglected to mention that you had read mine. Why wasn't that there?
Yeah, it's a security thing. There are a handful of instances where the government insisted on an override. They're worried that data about problems with the National Soulmate Database will jeopardize the public's trust in the system.
Of course it would.
I never meant to keep that information from you. I swear.
And what about your engagement? That was a secret you kept?
No, that's nothing. Marie is wonderful. She's one of the most important people in my life. But it's more like she was not a sister, but it's kind of like a familial intimacy that just sort of felt settled. It was like when you love someone, but you know exactly how they're gonna be. They don't challenge you, or surprise you, or help you grow and change, which is hard to say about someone who you did so much growing around. Plus the distance thing. We didn't have an end date, a time when we knew we'd be together again, and I think both of us were digging into our respective cities, kind of in an act of denial about the idea that one of us would have to give in and move. And then, if I'm being honest, I knew she wasn't my soulmate, and that really hurt me.
Did you ever have a conscientious objector mentality, or was that a lie too?
Yes, I still think the National Soulmate Database does more harm than good, but on top of all that other stuff, it was hard to not keep thinking about the fact that the algorithm hadn't paired us together, and wonder why. Why the email had never arrived. So, I went home to Chicago, and I had a long talk with my mom. And then I had a long talk with Marie, and I guess all things considered, the right things happened. And then my mom gave me my grandmother's old engagement ring, which apparently she had had sitting around in the drawer for years, and she gave it to me and said I could use it with whomever I like. It was just her way of telling me the future was bright.
Oh.
So, yeah, not for Marie. But, I understand why you jumped to that conclusion.
I mean, you could have led with all that.
Sure. Yeah, hi, nice to meet you. Want to discuss the family heirloom I received and am most likely to give you someday? See? I knew it would be a bad opener.
I mean, it's just now it's not true, obviously.
Are you so sure?
Aren't you? You lied about all this stuff, and I, invented a whole fake personality. Why did you humor me for so long, if you knew I wasn't being truthful?
I believed that you were like me. A person who wanted to be known on their own terms, who might have felt burdened by her file and wanted to have more agency over how someone, let alone her soulmate, got to see her. Was that analysis so wrong?
I
mean, nobody gets to see all of a person before they know them. I mean, really, nobody gets to know all of a person when they do know them, but we're constantly changing, and our pasts are a part of it. The files work so hard to collect as much data as possible to build this semblance of a complete human, but no matter how hard they try, they can't capture everything. And yes, you were lying, and I was angry, but you also showed me somebody who is inventive and funny and bold and attentive and beautiful. And someone I really don't want to move across the country on a whim.
But that person is me too. I move on a whim. I get into fights at work. I make stupid decisions. Bennett, I have no job, nowhere to live. I've got nothing going for me.
That isn't true.
I've been trying to find apartments all month and I've gotten rejected everywhere. You want to put your hopes in someone with terrible credit?
Claire, if that's the worst of our problems, then, we'll be in great shape.
Wait. How did you know I'd be on that flight to New York from Chicago those weeks ago?
I didn't. That was pure coincidence. Some might even say fate. Something the government couldn't control.
But you were such an asshole.
I was nervous. I was meeting my soulmate.
You don't believe in fate. You barely believe in soulmates. I'm just this annoying discovery you made years ago and ruined your stupid perfect relationship over.
Marie's not my soulmate.
And you really think I am?
I've known you're my soulmate for a very long time.
My flight.
Skip it.
Where will I live?
We'll figure it out.
What will I do for work?
We'll figure it out.
What if you hate me? Or I hate you?
We'll figure it out. But doesn't that sound better? Figuring it out together, rather than trying to venture out on our own?
Okay. We'll figure it out.
That's what soulmates do, right?
To be honest, I'm not sure. But we'll figure it out.
It is difficult for the National Soulmate Database to continue its research much beyond the soulmate match. Of course, we have access to social media posts, marriage records, birth certificates, major milestones. But once a pair of our soulmates finds one another, their future is out of our hands. After all, there is only so much we can control.
Whether you're a morning person or a bedtime procrastinator, everyone deserves a mattress that works for their style. And you'll find the best mattress for you at Ashley. The new Temper-Adapt collection at Ashley brings you one-of-a-kind body-conforming technology, making every sleep tailored to be your best. The collection also features cool-to-the-touch covers and motion absorption to help minimize sleep disruptions from partners, pets, or kids. Shop the all-new Temper-Adapt collection at Ashley in-store or online at ashley.com. Ashley, for the love of home.